Title: The Last Light in Ravenwood. On the edge of the fog-drenched town of Ravenwood, an old lighthouse stood like a sentinel against the restless sea. Its paint was peeling, and the glass in the lantern room was cracked, yet it continued to shine every night, slicing through the mist with a pale, unwavering light. Locals whispered that the lighthouse had a mind of its own, that it could guide the lost or lure them to their doom. Eleanor Gray had always been drawn to places like that, places where reality bent under the weight of legend. She arrived in Ravenwood on a rainy afternoon, the wheels of her battered car skidding along slick cobblestone streets. Her notebook was tucked under her arm, filled with half-finished stories and sketches of places she had never seen but somehow remembered in dreams. The town was small, almost forgotten, and the few people she passed seemed to move with careful deliberation, as if afraid to stir the air too much. At the inn, an elderly woman with sharp eyes and a crooked smile checked her in without asking for her name. "You're here for the light," she said instead, and Eleanor felt a chill run down her spine. That night, the wind roared, and the rain tapped frantic rhythms against the windows, but Eleanor couldn't sleep. She slipped on her coat and walked toward the lighthouse, following a path that seemed to appear from the fog itself. The closer she got, the stronger the feeling became that she was being watched. She told herself it was the wind. It had to be. Inside, the lighthouse smelled of salt and old wood. The spiral staircase groaned under her weight as she climbed, the light above flickering like a heartbeat. At the top, she found a journal, leather-bound and worn, lying on a small desk as if waiting for her. Its pages were filled with frantic handwriting and sketches of strange, impossible structures rising from the waves. Every drawing depicted the lighthouse at different times, crumbling, burning, or surrounded by monstrous shadows that didn't belong to the world she knew. The last entry chilled her. The light sees everything, and it waits. Tonight, I will follow it. Suddenly, the lantern flickered violently. A cold gust blew through the room, extinguishing the candles. Eleanor froze. From the darkness, a shape emerged, tall and fluid, like smoke given form. It didn't speak, but she felt it probing her mind, touching memories she had never shared with anyone. She realized then that the light didn't just guide ships, it guided souls. Heart pounding, Eleanor made a choice. She reached for the journal and held it to the light. The figure recoiled, dissolving into the mist. Outside, the storm had ceased. The sea was calm, reflecting the moon like glass. The lighthouse glowed steadily, welcoming and sinister all at once. Eleanor descended at dawn, exhausted but exhilarated. The town seemed unchanged, yet she knew something had shifted. Ravenwood was no longer just a place on a map. It was a living entity, breathing through the lighthouse and waiting for the next soul brave or foolish enough to seek it. She left that day, but the light haunted her dreams for weeks. At night, she would wake and see it through her bedroom window, cutting through the darkness. Sometimes she could hear a voice, soft and insistent, whispering, "Come back. The light remembers you." And Eleanor knew she would.